every day's a yes day for me when it comes to like, are we gonna, order out or have wine? I'm always like, yes.
How are you doing? I mean, we are all sort of pushing through this year. I feel like finally there's some light at the end of the COVID tunnel. How are you holding up there?
I'm doing a lot better. I mean, it does feel a lot more hopeful. Thank goodness. Um, I was like, what's this shadow? Hold on one second. There we go. I was like, what is that?
What was that?
Um, or wait, did it come back? Jeez.
No, I don't see. Oh, is it a shadow?
It's like a crazy shadow. I don't know where it's coming from.
That is creepy, Fortune. There's something happening in your space.
Gosh.
I can't really
All
see
right,
it.
right here, I'll do that. Yeah, I'm doing a lot better. It was, you know, I mean, it's been a doozy. I can't believe it's been a year. I think we're all like thinking back to, where were you when, Tom Hanks got COVID? I feel like that was like the turning point for everybody where we're like, oh my God, this is happening. This is crazy.
Like shit got real at that point.
Yeah, it got real. I don't know why it took that. But that first half was I was supposed to go on this big tour, and my first tour date was actually going to be Grand Rapids, March 15th, and they canceled it the night before I was supposed to leave, and that was we were so excited to go to Michigan because all their family was coming, and but then it just kept going and kept going, and everybody had to kind of make the most of it. But no one was like having a great year, so you had to think and realize like the whole world is going through this really hard time, and I think we're getting through it, so I'm feeling optimistic.
Are you still on the bottle of wine every other day regimen?
I I got better, but that was definitely like the first like 4 months. We had to finally be like, okay, maybe not every night, maybe once every couple days. So we evened out with that, but it has been hard, even though it feels weird, even though you're at home, it has been hard like trying to eat healthy and stuff because I was doing a lot better with that before the pandemic. I had lost a bunch of weight, and when you're in this situation, you're like, well, nothing's fun right now, so I just want to eat.
There's also like nothing to do, but if you had a job, then work. I feel like my home life
Yeah.
and my work life just became all my work life because it all
Yeah.
happened in the same place all the time.
Yeah. Well, thank God, you know, Hollywood started kind of trying to get back rolling. I want to say October or so. So I've been really lucky the last few months to be working again, and the sets are going to really great lengths to keep everybody safe, and so I feel some normalcy when I go work, even though it's very different at work. Everyone's masked up and face shields, and it's a different environment. But whatever it takes to get to do it, I'm
Yeah.
all for.
What kind of projects are you working on then right now?
Well, I just wrapped Kenan, the sitcom Kenan for NBC. I have a recurring role on that. I think I in 6 episodes or so. So that's been really cool, and that was super unexpected. I did not foresee that one coming, so that was a nice little cherry on top. I've been doing for Netflix the Netflix After Party, which
Mm.
is really cool with David Spade and London Hughes, where basically once a week, or sometimes it's once a week, once every couple weeks, whatever like big Netflix movie or TV show is either premiering or it's a new season, we're interviewing the cast and talking all things about that show. So that's been really fun. And then I had all these movies. I've I think I've had 5 movies come out in the last 6 months, which is crazy, but it's because I filmed I filmed all of them before the pandemic, and they all got held up, like the release dates got pushed, and so they were supposed to originally come out at different times, and then all of a sudden it was just like release the movies. So everyone people are like, you're everywhere, and I'm just like, I mean, that's awesome. I filmed these, quite a bit ago. And then Yes Day's coming out. That's the latest one. So it's been cool because I've gotten to do a lot of different types of movies, which I really love.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I love seeing you, even if it's even if it's a cameo in a big budget film. I mean, it's because you pop up in the most random of places as the most random of characters. You've played janitors and gravediggers and a fairy gay mother. What is one really?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, I mean, right? What is
And
one?
now I need for Hollywood to let me do more than the to be the fun pop up that brings some laughs. I'm ready to really sink my teeth into some bigger roles. So hopefully that's coming.
Yeah, is that what you've been working toward?
Yeah, I do a lot of development. I do a lot of writing, and I've sold a couple movies to Amblin, and I've in the past I've sold TV shows to ABC, and so excuse me. So I'm trying to get one of those movies off the ground that we've written. We wrote another movie in quarantine that we hope to pitch around, and yeah, I'm trying to create like with television. I created I don't know why my voice is
We need to get you one of those bottles. Where's that bottle of wine? Call Jacquelyn. She
I
needs a.
know. Uh, I created those TV shows because I was trying to give myself an opportunity to, like I said, be a bigger part of a show. And I got to film like my pilot for ABC, which was really cool, even though that didn't move forward. It eventually led to me doing the Mindy Project. So now with movies, I've been kind of focused on writing movies because I've been lucky to be in a lot of movies, especially lately. But I want to, like I said, be a bigger part of movies. So sometimes in Hollywood, you just have to write that yourself. So I'm hoping that is definitely a big goal is to try to get one of those made.
An important question. Do you want to go and get a glass of water?
Um, I
You
think I'm okay. I
you
think I'm
sure?
okay.
Okay, okay. I just
If it happens again, I will.
go for it. Don't feel like you can't. Okay.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, of
I've
course.
been I've been doing lots of talking lately. I was telling Jax this yesterday. I was like, I talk a lot right now because I do a radio show every day for 2 hours, and then we do our weekly podcast. And then, it's always a lot of press and stuff right now. So I was like, I'm like talking more than ever.
Yeah, you need something to lubricate the throat. You need some throat lozenges,
Yeah.
something. I have in honor of Barb and Star, go to Vista Del Mar, a special little Barb and Star cup, and so
I love it. I love it. That was one of my favorite movies to do. That was such a treat seeing that come out. The only bummer is that is the movie you want to see with a a house full of people in a theater. Um, you because it's one of those movies I think that if that it's infectious. If people are laughing, it makes other people start laughing, and you're all laughing together. So I'm glad it came out that people can enjoy something silly during quarantine. But hopefully, I don't know if you can like release a movie online and then also put it back in the theater.
well, already I'm thinking like, why can't we have a re-release of it? You know, I mean,
Yeah, come on.
the movie's gonna live on in gay cult film culture anyways. So it's like every year actually, it should get a theatrical release.
I hope so. It does seem that Gaiman in particular really took to that movie, which makes me so happy.
I really have to say, I mean, like I'm in a house here with two other gay men, and I watched the movie 3 times. I also watched it with my mother, but there was something so different about watching it with my gay friends because we really can. Well, we identify with these Midwestern moms in some way, and I really that's gonna take a lot of time to unpack, Fortune, but
I love that. Yeah, yeah, it would because some people are like, people either like loved it or obsessed with it, or they were like, I hated it. I turned it off after 20 minutes. And I just wanted to be like, well, maybe you aren't the target audience. Like, yeah, maybe the people that are obsessed with it is exactly who they wanted to watch it.
I think I said at least 20 times during it, "Oh yeah, this was made with gay men in mind." I
Yeah,
mean,
it feels.
it just had to be. It took me back to Romeo and Michelle and
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think that they, Kristen and Annie are have been friends for a long time. They come from that Groundlings world, especially when back then it was very character based, very broad characters, big characters, wacky characters, and I think they just wanted to do a movie that made them laugh. And so they weren't really thinking about who is this for or will other people find this funny. They were just like, this is the movie we find funny and we're making it. And I love that.
yeah, and I mean, I imagine they just are surrounded with a lot of gay men who also told them, "Yeah, we need this movie, Kristen."
That's just, yes.
And it's funny because it's like then it came out during the pandemic, and it felt so right because it felt like, oh yeah, this is the right movie for right now.
Yeah, 100%. I think it'll be coming on DVD or what do people use? DVD? I don't know. There's a way for people to own it soon, so they don't have to keep paying
Laser
for it.
disc or
Something like that. I don't know where anything exists anymore.
um
I haven't printed out a picture in like 6 years.
did you know what you were getting yourself into when you signed up for Barb and Star?
I did to I knew that my part was pretty subdued, like we were the talking club and that we were sitting around thing talking about ridiculous stuff. I read the whole script and I was on a plane and I read it and I was crying laughing reading this, which most scripts you just kind of going through, you're like, yeah, that's cute. But this one was had me crying and I was like, if so I knew the movie was insane and I was like, God, how are they gonna pull this off? I have no idea. It was so broad, but I knew it was Kristen, I knew it was Annie, and I love Allison Jones, the casting director, is like a legend. And I was like, if they're asking me to be in this movie, I'm being in this movie. It's the best thing I've read in so long. So I couldn't wait for people to see it.
Why Pinky? Is there a story behind that name for your character?
No, I don't know why. I don't even in the script she was named Pinky. I don't no one ever said why or where that name came from. Because there's no backstory. There's very little backstory on the Talking Club, which makes me want Kristen and Annie to write a sequel, which also involves the Talking Club. And I want them to come. I want the sequel to be them coming back from their trip, telling the Talking Club, and go from there.
Yeah, the Talking Club is going to be really jealous of their trip.
For
Yeah.
sure, for
Yeah.
sure. So maybe they need to take another trip and involve the Talking Club.
Yeah, totally. Do you know any women like Barb and Star or Pinky? Are you friends with any? Have you hung out with anyone like them?
Oh gosh, I mean, I've hung out with plenty. I mean, I'm from the South, so those outfits are certainly not foreign to me. I've know plenty of women that we're all like, these outfits are hysterical, and people from home are like, that's what I wear, and you're like, yeah.
Wait, oh, people wear culottes. Yeah, okay, okay.
So yeah, I certainly know women like that. I mean, no one as bonkers as them, but definitely in that vein of the look and the way they get excited about things.
In addition to Barb and Star, of course, you're in Yes Day, and you play Jean, the paramedic. Is it safe to say that you probably shouldn't be driving an ambulance?
100%, I should not be. Yeah, Jean bought a fleet of ambulances, even though she sucks at driving that one. It's always fun to pop in as these characters, like you said, that kind of just are a little off. That's kind of my brand of humor. Is here's a character that's a little off, but there's a lot of heart there.
Yeah.
So I love this movie because, well, first off, Jennifer Garner was I've been a fan of hers for so long, and I was nervous to meet her just because she's done so many projects and is just still in that category of movie star, which you don't have as many these days. And she was so lovely. And my very first scene with her, I had to drive the ambulance. And I felt like Jean very much because I didn't know how. I mean, they teach you, how to work everything, and they make sure you're comfortable. But I'm trying to do my scene and like pull the air brakes and do the siren, and it's just like, like walking and trying to rub your head and your stomach at the same time. It was a lot to sort of figure out, having just met Jennifer Garner, but she was so lovely. And Miguel, like, the director, it was just like the perfect guy for something like this, because he was, if the kids, if they're tired, he would get everyone like cheering and let's get a high five, and it was a very fun vibe on set, which you want. It's a fun family movie, and so you want the actors to be enjoying what they're doing, and he just created such a great atmosphere. And so I haven't gotten to do a lot of family movies, and so for me it was really, I just love the pure positive happy um feeling that this movie gives you.
Yeah, no, totally. Which is something that is like people are craving that feeling right now, you know?
Yeah. And I know people want to be able to watch things with their whole family, and so these, especially on Netflix, people, I feel like any family content, people are just like, yes, give it to me, because they want to be able to, watch these things and not have to cover anybody's ears. And
Yeah,
uh
totally.
yeah, so it's a fun movie, it's a great movie, and I know it's going to make kids want their families to have a yes day. So be prepared that you might have to have a yes day at your own house.
Well, the funny thing is that I feel like in the last year, every day has been a no day. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. I mean, even for the adults, right? Even for us, like we
Yeah.
can't do anything. And so, like, what will be your yes day when you can finally say yes to the things that you've been saying no to?
Oh man, just hugging people. My friends especially, a lot of hugs. A lot of, I mean, I already have every day's a yes day for me when it comes to like, are we gonna, order out or have wine? I'm always like, yes. So I probably need to reel in my yeses, but I will just be excited to get to travel again and see my family, and so I'll be saying yes to a lot more social activities. Whereas before I was like, I just want to go home and sit on my couch. Now I'm like, yes, let's go do things.
I know, yeah, that's gonna be the whole world.
Yeah,
What
for
is
sure.
what is the history between you and the other ambulance driver, Karen, in the movie? Like, I get the impression that they could have been a couple. You took her life savings.
I know. I feel like they were alluding to, I mean, he never told me. They never told me what their actual relationship was. If it was a relationship, if it was best friends. If I was her best friend and took her life savings, then that's a really bad friend. If it's her partner, then that's okay.
It kind of depends on the status of that relationship. If she cheated on you, then okay,
Yeah.
maybe, right?
I'm gonna assume that Karen's probably my partner in life, my lady. I don't know. We didn't dig into it.
Yeah.
But she also didn't seem to Karen didn't seem to like me, so maybe not.
Well, it just, well, I mean, because it seemed like you maybe had gone through a terrible divorce or something.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
took her money, and now you were stuck with all these ambulances that you bought with her
Yeah.
money, and now you're driving them with her. But if she was smart, she would have just left you totally and like
Totally.
not been a part of the ambulance business with
Yes,
you.
100%. You nailed it.